Wednesday, November 19th, the barrier. Finding Alric, the companions later told me, was the easy part, and breaking the enchantments which bound him the matter of but a few moments' consideration. It wasn't until they turned to escape, leading the barely conscious and unresponsive Alric, that the rescue became a thing of legend. The companions say that Alric became more and more lucid toward the end, and revealed things that day in the desert which only made sense in the light of later events. He continually returned to the belief that he had been betrayed. Alric babbled about a suit of armor so powerful that its wearer was invulnerable to attack and tireless in battle. He claimed that it was buried somewhere in the eastern desert, and that he had been sent by the head to retrieve it. They say Alric talked about the head often, ridiculing the Nine's belief that it was one of the Avatara of Connaught. Connaught was the great hero of the Wind Age, who drove the evil Moagim from the earth, and the head claims to have been one of Connaught's closest advisors during this time. Once Alric even spoke of the head's defeat by Balor, where it lost its body. But I've begun to wonder how one of the Avatara of the Wind Age outlived Connaught himself by hundreds of years to fight Balor in a battle long before the West had even heard of the Fallen Lords. I have been unable to reconcile this with what I know of history.
Okay, here we are with our 5 champions again. Our journeyman has filled back up on mandrake roots somehow, and our dwarf has got a new supply of satchel charges that he found somewhere out in the desert wastes. I'm not sure how they managed that, but I'm not going to complain. We've also got Alric tagging along with us. He's going to be an NPC for this mission. You can see he's got a blue border there. I guess he hasn't completely recovered from his ordeal as a prisoner of war. We're going to go see if we can eliminate some of these goals before they get annoying. This really isn't a particularly dangerous amount of goals here, but one of the problems you have when you just have a small number of units is dealing with an attack from multiple directions. So we're going to try to thin these goals out before they get that idea into their heads. Yeah, there they come. So let's drop a present on that group.
Yes?
Nice of them to bunch up a little bit for us. And let's bring the Zerks back over to help.
Oh yeah!
That was a nice shot.
Mic up, yes! Ready?
Okay, good job. Let's go ahead and form up and head out. So I guess we're headed east if the minimap is oriented in the normal way. Might seem a little odd to be going east. If you remember from the world map, the mountains that we came from are back behind us to the west. But I guess the Deceiver's camp is also in that direction. So we need to find some other way to get out of here. And it looks like we've got a lot more enemies over there. Let's pull the Zerks back. If they'll leave us alone for a minute, we'll have time for Kiangxi to deal with these Solus perched on this hill. Let's do a little archer dancing. Oh, I need to be more careful. Unlike the previous mission, you don't fail this mission if any of your heroes die, but I would like to still get them all out alive at the end, so I need to be pretty stingy with the amount of damage they take.
Right away.
One more. Well, maybe 2 more. There we go.
All right.
So, those goals we saw earlier looks like they just zoomed on past us, and we're left facing a couple of Myrmidon groups here. Should be able to deal with them pretty well if we can get our dwarf to soften them up a little bit.
Okay.
So we'll drop one on them. Send in the clowns and drop one on the other group.
On it. Got him!
Come on. Okay. Oh, well, crap. That was disappointing. Not really what you expect from a dwarf hero. Myrmidon got through. Good thing Zerk heroes are a little faster than Myrmidons. except when friendly units get in their way. Jeez. No, don't go around him. God, if I lose my dwarf, I'm going to be really pissed. Okay. Okay, that was a bit of a comedy of errors, but we came out of it okay. Let's recover here. We need to set up and get ready for these goals that are coming back. We got some Solus coming off the hill as well.
What now?
They're still clumping up for us pretty good though, so we should be okay. As long as this goes a little bit more cleanly than the Myrmidon fight. Alright. That was more like it.
Okay.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and spend one of our roots on a Zerk. These guys are our damage sponges for this mission, so we need to keep them in tip-top shape. And let's just keep pressing on.
Yeah.
This looks like it would be a bad place to get lost in. We do have a structure of some sort over here.
Yeah.
Ooh, and something shiny. The mission description in our info bar, it said something about an artifact that we might be able to find, and
Over here.
so that's probably what this is. It also kind of looks like a trap, so I'm going to send my Zerks in first to have a closer look. Oh. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on these guys. Oh, what have we here? Yeah, that was pretty much a trap. Too bad for them. If I'd sent my archer in there first, I would have regretted it. But for the Zerks, this is just a bit of light exercise.
Get back up.
Well, we seem to have attracted the attention of that other group, so I'm not going to have time to mess with that artifact quite yet. I don't think. Yeah, they're coming back. Okay. Pay attention. So we got a lot of Solus here. We're going to have to hope our dwarf gets in a good shot or two.
Die, fool.
Yeah. Yes.
Archer punch!
Yeah.
The normal archer punch, if you don't have an archer hero unit, just the regular archer unit, is really weak. It's rarely useful, but I gotta admit, Kianxi's got a pretty good jab on him there. Okay, come back, Zerks. Let's see what we have here at the temple. Or whatever this place is. Well, first, I've only got 5 roots, but I think I'm going to burn 4 of them just to get everybody topped back off. We're almost to the point where a slip-up would cost us a unit. Alright, let's finally see if we can go get our hands on that bow. I'm assuming the archer can just pick it up. He likes it. Hey, Mikey. So, what is it? It's got 12 charges or uses, whatever it is. Let's go find some test subjects.
Over here.
This is a hard mission.
Yes.
It's probably the hardest one in the game so far, for me anyway. I had to take a few attempts at Bagrata, but that was mainly just because of all the bad luck with the dwarf duds in the fight near the end. This one is legitimately difficult. I mentioned in the previous video how Myth has this mix of requiring you to be able to manage groups of units and also micromanage individual units, and how these champions missions are kind of towards one end of that scale. That mix or balance was also something that was reflected in the multiplayer maps that shipped with Myth. Most of those multiplayer maps came in two versions called a light version and a dark version. Hold that thought. I'm going to have to come back to that. We've got a truckload of Myrmidons to the southeast, and a small carload to the northeast. So I think it's time to find out what this magic bow is going to do for us. It says Bow of Stoning.
Okay.
That's cool.
Look out.
So it petrifies the bad guys. Probably would have rather had sort of a nuclear explosion sort of power at this particular point, but that's pretty handy too.
Okay.
Yes.
Got some more goals coming there. Let's stone them too.
Ready.
Alright.
Sir?
Does this thing work on Solus? Well, either it doesn't or I missed, one or the other.
Yes?
Get back up.
Oh great, more Myrmidons. Let's back up.
I move.
This isn't looking good.
What now?
You know, Alric, if you wanted to pick some time to snap out of it, I'm just saying this might be your last chance.
Make up your mind. Yes.
Okay. Well, fortunately, the Myrmidons seem to be sort of afraid of my Zerks. I think if they had kept attacking there, we would have been toast. But we have escaped for the moment. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my last route on one of the Zerks.
Yeah.
Well, so what was I saying? I was talking about multiplayer maps. Right, light versions and dark versions. So the light versions of the maps, they tended to have
What now?
units that were slower moving and maybe didn't have the highest damage attacks, larger numbers of these units. And so these versions tended to be more about positioning and formations and tactics. And the dark versions were not terribly different really, but they would lean more towards faster moving units that had harder hitting attacks, and maybe fewer of these units, so what you'd call high value units.
Yes, right away.
And so the dark maps tended to be weighted a little bit more towards micromanagement. And it was kind of interesting to see how the multiplayer community on Bungie.net sort of crystallized around those two
Alright.
types of maps. The ranked games would usually be played on dark maps, and the unranked, or what Bungie calls the social playlists these days, those would usually, not always, but usually be played on light maps, and with a bigger variety of maps and a variety of game types. So I usually hung out in the unranked areas and played on light maps, and so a mission like this that is really micromanagement heavy is a little outside my comfort zone. We're doing okay so far. I am worried about the amount of damage that all my guys are carrying around now, and I'm fresh out of healing roots.
That was mine.
Well, we still have those Myrmidons lurking over there, and I'm not sure they're going to let us just waltz on past. So it may be time to break out the satchel charges. I'm not really sure which path they're going to take, but maybe we can pull them over the satchels. Okay, let's see if... No, they're already coming at us. I don't think they're going to let us walk past there. Okay.
What now?
Come on, just a little bit more.
What
Oh,
now?
crap. Let's have Kanksy get rid of those.
Make up your mind.
How you doing back there, Alric? Mr. Sorcerer, Warrior, King guy?
Yes, sir.
Feel like helping out?
Yes! Move here, move there.
Let's go.
I did get that last Solus down to just a sliver. I just need to wing him.
On it.
Don't want to let Kanksy get too far ahead of the group, though. Alrighty. Let's see if we can stone one of these Myrmidons.
What?
Okay, bombs away.
Make up your mind.
Ah, that was nice. That was very nice.
I'm moving.
Alright, so we're out of roots. We're out of stoning arrows.
Yeah.
And who knows how much farther we have to go.
Let's go.
Well, let's curve back around to the northeast. Just kind of keep on generally going east.
Over here.
Well, we've got a little bit of geography to the east of us that seems to be sort of different than the sand dunes we've been seeing. Maybe a road or a ramp of some sort.
Let's go.
Okay, well, let's have a look. A couple of goals kind of close to us there, but I think I'll just leave them alone. If they don't bother me, I won't bother them. Oh boy. It does look like a ramp,
Over here.
and it also looks like a large group of bad guys at the bottom of it. What, and a shade. Whatever that is, probably something very bad.
Hey, move it.
I'm moving.
Well, yeah, what to do?
I'm moving.
Oh, yeah, they're aware of us. But they're not attacking. Good grief. That's like half the eastern armies of the dark out there. But they don't,
Yeah.
they seem to be content to sit there and block us from getting to the road.
Let me handle this.
Ho ho! Well, it looks like Alric has picked an interesting time to wake up. If he wants to handle it, I say let's let him. We'll just sit over here and watch.
Ah, Sinis. I thought you died when Mazarin collapsed the Shrine of Nyx upon you.
Indeed, Alric. Then I'll wager that you thought you'd seen the last of me.
I have seen the last of you.
Oh, burn. Now that is the good stuff.
Casualty.
Ah! What? No, 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 no! Ah! Oleg. Crap.
Okay.
Well, let's go help Alric. Oh, good grief.
Follow me.
Was I just standing too close? Well, that's pretty sad. I got the little guy all the way to the end
Let's go.
and got careless because I thought Alric had the situation under control. Alric better have some really damn interesting stuff to say
Follow me.
to make this rescue worthwhile. So, speaking of rescue, where are we going? The overhead map makes it look like this is just a hill. And we're going to the top.
Over here.
Okay, and it looks like the other half of the Eastern Armies of the Dark are now all around us. Maybe Alric has a magical howitzer stashed away up here. Come on, Kiangxi.
Come closer, quickly.
If Kiangxi gets taken out here by a Hail Mary from a Solus, I'm just going to start over.
Ready?
Okay, that'll work. Phew. Well, what to say? I'm really bummed about losing Oleg. Other than that, though, this was a good run. It had some cool fights, and I guess I'll hang on to this one as the official version for this Let's Play. And as for Oleg, he'll just have to live on in our hearts and minds.